Hello there, everyone. It is a Tuesday, which means it's the Needle Bar.
It is. And there he is.
I totally wasn't hiding.
Nope.
All right, everybody. Well, welcome and thank you for joining us. Today we're going to be going over some really cool stuff that's been being worked on in the background. I know Matt has some really awesome updates that he's been doing to EmbroideryNerd.io that I have been very, very excited for him to release for quite a while because it's easier for my wife to use it too if it's in the production environment. So I'm really excited to have it there. And then we will also be talking about a project that we've all been working on called Embroidery Nerd University. And that's something that we're going to be, I guess we're launching it today. It's available today so that you guys can go and check out and look at. So we are excited for both of those things. But I think first you want to go over EmbroideryNerd.io, Matt?
Yeah, we can pull that up. I'll bring my screen in. Need to get like some, sound effects and everything. A bunch of splats. So if you guys aren't aware, EmbroideryNerd.io, it's one of the tools that we've developed. It will replace the thread converter. But basically, if you go through the homepage when you hit EmbroideryNerd.io, you'll see all of the different functions and tools and features that we have. And you can scroll through, see if it's of interest to you, which I'm sure there's something on here that'll pique your interest. So it's pretty cool. I think that's about it, right? Topics covered.
It's pretty cool. Topics covered. Lives over. Yeah. We can go ahead. No.
And by the way, if you guys notice, there's this awesome testimonial section down here. While I am a user and I actually do pay Embroidery Nerd, with my personal or my business account, I would feel much better if we got some actual other people testimonials. So if you're a user of the site and you want to send in a testimonial, I'd love to replace mine just so it doesn't look a little weird, since benefiting from it. But, if you love it, just let us know and we'll get that updated. Back to you, Jen. I'm just kidding.
All right, back to me.
All right. So first off, I'm just going to quickly log in. Boom. And done. Okay. So it's pretty easy to tell now what's new because it shows you what's new. If you haven't been on the site lately, you might not even have noticed there's a search bar up here. If you're, just quickly need to look for a thread, you can just type in something and it'll pull it up and you can go directly to that thread. And then you can add it to your shopping list. I do realize Jeff never told me to add a add to inventory button. So that'll be done later this week or today. We'll see, depending on how ambitious I am.
Telepathical.
Yeah, exactly. So which feature should we go over next?
Let's go over the machine manager because I think that's really awesome.
All right, machine manager. So if I bring this in, this is under the production tier. So this is our highest tier. Basically, what this allows you to do is keep track of what colors, what needles, and just basic information about your machine. So let's say I'm out on the road and I have to answer a question for TextMac and they're like, hey, what's the serial number of your machine? I can go click on Happy to. Oh, and it's right there. There's my serial number. So I can pull that up. I know it's 4 head, it's 12 needles, even though I already know that, but it's helpful to have it on here. But the nice thing is I can just go through and I can see all the different colors that are on my machine. I can change the colors. So let's say, this isn't right. I don't have black and then white. Actually, no, this is the happy. But we'll change it. So I can go through here. I can pick a different color, and Jeff is going to give me a color to put in.
1387.
Oh, it's not in my inventory. 1387. I don't.
1776.
That's also not in my inventory, actually. It's rayon. Why would you give me rayon? Whatever, we'll do it.
I just made up a number.
So because I don't have it in my inventory, it's telling me, hey, it's not in your inventory. Would you like to add it? Because you can't add a thread to your machine that you don't have. I know Justin's like, I do it all the time, but it doesn't work here. Not in Nebraska, at least. Arizona is a little different, I think. But considering
It's that dry heat.
Completely cut off. But but yeah, so I'm going to add it to my inventory, even though I don't actually have it. I can delete it later. That's a later and early problem. I can choose what needles I have. So this is actually a 75 by 11, and this is a 40 weight thread because it's classic 40. So now I can go through and I can either just say save it, or I can go to the next needle, or I can pick what needle I want to go to next. So let's say needle 3 isn't correct. I would just want to go straight to needle 3. You'll see it updated already. It's just these little features that help you save time. And I can do that as well. Same thing. I can choose whatever. If I just want to completely not have a thread on there, I can hit clear, save, and you'll see it'll blank it out. I can go back and you'll see there's a little X saying needle 3. There's nothing. If I want to see what needle this spice brown is on, I can see it's needle 10. Just simple stuff by hovering over it.
We can't see it because he only shared the window, but there's a pop-up that goes.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
So wait, Matt, we have a question. I'm going to stop because we have a question, and it's from Ramona. She says, do I have to have an inventory set up to pull a thread on the machine?
Do you
To assign it?
I believe you have to have a thread in your inventory to be able to put it on the machine.
Yes.
In the machine manager.
Yeah, you don't have to have it in there to put it on, but once you put it on, it will have you put it in your inventory. So, let me rephrase it. It will put it into your inventory if you don't already have it in there. So,
if not, it breaks the database. Ask me how I know.
Yes. I'm going to arrange my windows here. I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to share the monitor, the other monitor now. That way you can see the pop-up. Entire screen, screen 2, share, hide, bring in. All right. Hopefully you can see that. Okay. So now I'm going to hover over it. So I said Spice Brown, Needle 10, Filtech Glide. I don't know if I.
All right. So we have another question, Matt. We're going to fire him at you here. I haven't messed around with this yet. Can it handle a multi-head where they may not be the same across the whole machine?
I don't have that in here. I debated. I could do that. I don't know how often people do that. Like I've done it when I'm doing like a patch where I have like a colored and a subdued version and I can align it. I figured the likelihood of that would be very rare. If it is something requested twice by anyone other than you know, Mike and anyone on this panel, I'll put it in.
So just bringing it down by head then, as well as.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be difficult. It would just be another check. Like, do you want to have it? Yeah, it's a later and early problem, but it's something that is doable for sure. I don't think there's anything else. So one other thing too that Jeff wanted to see was when you're looking at your thread inventory. So now you'll notice there's a little icon. I'll zoom in. I forgot what this icon actually is. I think it's a toaster. I think that's actually what it was. But it looks kind of like an embroidery machine, so I kind of went with it. But it's just telling you that it's currently on a machine. So I can go ahead and click
in your
this.
toaster.
Sorry, what was that?
So it's currently in your toaster.
Yes, that is true. Just not in the bathtub because toasters and bathtubs don't usually work out very well. But because I'm on the production tier, you have to have that to get into the machine manager because most, small shops aren't. If you only have one machine, you don't really need the machine manager, but it will help knowing what threads are on machine. But this is where I can see Spice Brown. It's currently on 3 of my machines, all on needle 10. It's currently thundering outside. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but that's what that noise is. I'm not that hungry. But I can see it's all on those machines. If I want to quickly jump to that, so I want to go to my Tajima, I can click view and I can see it right there.
Yeah, and I will say that this is really nice when you're, I use the match against the inventory all the time, and I'll have a location assigned in the tags because we have that ability. And if I have it on the machine, sometimes I'll take it out of the case and I'll put it on the machine, but I won't save that I took it out of the case. And so it's really nice to have that little icon there that tells me it's on the machine. It's a lot easier to go, oh, I know where that spool is, because before that we didn't really have any way to mark that it was on the machine.
Yeah, it's definitely something that Jeff and I were talking, like, we definitely needed to have this added. So it's just a matter of, getting it in there. But it's there now, so everyone can feel free to use it. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out a little bit. All right, so we're going to go back to Inventory Manager. I'm just going to look at this real again. I don't think there is anything else, but new machine. I'm just clicking it to show you. This is all the data that you can put in. You don't have to put purchase date in, but it's helpful if you ever need it. Here comes another doggo. There you go. That's Tonto. It's a very good dog. Okay. So moving on. I think the next thing is probably Chart Manager.
Yep, that's pretty awesome. I think you developed all that today.
Yeah, I was also not at home developing it, but we're going to ignore that. So this is to replace a product that I made a while ago that was really complicated to run. It was a Microsoft Excel-based picture manipulating thing. It was really, really cumbersome. But basically what this allows you to do is to take, so when you have a customer and you have a design and they need to pick that blue, you don't pull out the thread book from Madeira or Filtech or Gunold or whatever. You just hand them a piece of paper that shows them all of the blues that you currently have, so that way you don't have to go order yet your 19th blue for one order. It
For a half
forces
shade
them in,
difference.
and when you look at the thread book, there's so many blues that are right next to each other, you can't really tell what the difference is. It's really overwhelming for customers, and they're like, well, which one do you like? This gets rid of that, makes it easier, and saves you money.
Can you create the chart from your inventory that you already have?
Yeah, so it's based off your inventory. So again, this has to be in your inventory, because you're not going to be embroidering with thread that you don't have. So there's also other instances where this is useful. So like in this case, this is a thread chart that I was starting. If I had more, let me just create another one. I'm just going to create a needle bar. So it just adds more. So if I have more of these, but we're going to go into my patch phrase, the Institute of Heraldry. It's the official colors for military. So these are the colors that I have in my inventory that my customers can use to put into their designs. So another color I don't have in here because I cleared my entire account to start over. I'm going to add in Bombay. And again, this is pulling from my inventory, so I'm not searching all 40,000 threads that are in our database. It's just what I have in my shelves behind me. And I can just do Air Force Blue. This is going to override the name. It's because the customer doesn't care about Bombay. They don't care about the code. They just want to know, I need Air Force Blue. So now when I save it, you'll see it put it there. This was a fun little thing that I did. You can just drag the color around, hit save. It'll update it. Boom. And you can see red, that's the name you overrode it with. And now I can do two things. So I can take this, I can print a PDF. Let's see. You need color, and then I also need to turn on background graphics. And this is portrait. I did not develop it on my desktop, so this might be a little funky. But I will check that. Or is it maybe save as PDF? I'll check that out. There's something going on weird with my desktop and my printer, but it basically allows you to print it out, and this is what you would show to your customer, and then they can pick whatever color they need. Granted, there's not many colors on this one, but when you have your entire inventory imported on there, it'll make it a lot easier on them. The other
Matt,
feature, go ahead.
You basically print that out and then email it over to me, and then I could, or save it as a PDF. Then you could email it over to me, and I can take a look at it and pick my colors. And
I could do that. Ideally, what this is for, it's strictly for printing. So you print it, probably on glossy printer paper or something. Maybe if you're trying to make it feel less cheap or whatever, leave it on your counter. And,
heavier stock.
Yeah, in actual storefront. So they come in, they see that, and like, oh, this place is actually legit. It's not just some cheap. I forgot what the weight of paper was or whatever. But if you update it, let's say I rearrange this, whatever. I can go under the settings here, or the little drop down, and I can do share live page. It'll give you a link. I can copy that. And now if I send this link to anyone, and hit enter, not shift, you can now see this link. And just because you guys don't believe me, we're going to post the link in the chat. And you can go ahead and click it, and you'll see all of these colors. And just to even make it more interesting, I'm going to save it after I move the colors. And now you'll see on your screen, if you click it now, black will be first, unless if I change it again later. And you're watching from a rewatch, but your mileage may vary. But this is what Jeff was asking. This is what you would send to your actual customer, this link, and then they can go. So where this would be really useful is if this needle bar was actually needle bar high school, then I could go through NB blue, because I know I have Bombay.
And this is only for threads that you have in your inventory, right?
That is correct. And then what is nectar? We'll go with that. Save. And sure, let's just add black. And Filtech Glide. Oh, and it does show you if you have a 60 weight or if it's not 40 weight, it will show you what the weight of the thread is. So save. So now I have the school colors. So now if I take this and I send it to the school board or whatever moms, now they can go through and they can see, oh, Needle Bar High School, the blue. Okay, whatever. I don't know why they would need that, considering it's a made-up high school, but this was a highly requested feature. But this is now, you don't have to go on Etsy and pay someone on Etsy, $20 every time you need to change a color, or you run out of a color, or you add a new color, you need them to go update a PDF. You just click a button, it regenerates it, you put it on your website, same deal. And you don't even have to, you can just have a link to this on your website. You can just say, see my colors, or on your Etsy, you can literally have this link on there and it'll just redirect, show them this. Easy.
Awesome. All right, Matt, we have a question here from Chris. Can you import your thread inventory?
So importing your thread inventory is one of the things that I'm working on, but I haven't gotten enough sample data from people because it has to be, you have to train the server how to figure out what is the actual color that you have, because your color that you're putting in has to be in my database verbatim, 100% match. If it's not, it'll have issues. So I need people to send me, if you have like an Excel file or a spreadsheet or something. Hopefully it's not just a notebook with handwritten stuff, because that would be miserable to write something for. But if you're willing to share that with me, email address is info@embroiderynerd.io. If you go to the website, there's a contact button on the homepage. You can get the email from there too. But then
I think that'd be a good thing to add on the sidebar, on the left sidebar, as a contact.
Yeah, it probably would be. I think there's the Discord link. You can.
There is the Discord link.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you can do that, but I think that's it for the chart manager.
Yep, I believe so.
So last thing is the resources. So people have been asking when we do the digitizing 911, can I get this file after? Well, this is one of the things we're planning on doing, is having a repository for these files. So if you provide us one and you want to share it with other people, we can put it on here. Or if we have free designs that we want to give out, we can put them on here and you can get it. If you log in, you will not see this upload button. This is for the 4 of us
administrators.
Yeah, so you won't have that, because we don't want people putting, copyrighted or IP infringement stuff, or just, stuff that shouldn't be on here in general, because there are, people out there. But all of this, these are designs. You don't have to pay anything for them. We do have different tiers, so some tiers might have access to more files. As you see, this EmbroideryNerd design, this is one of our, our brand items. So we just have it. If you're a subscriber, you get it for free. But this 3 to 8 millimeter star, this was done by Justin. If I click it, you'll see it was Justin Armenta. It is an insanely useful star. It's free. You can log into our website, and you can download it just by clicking on the link. If I click it, you'll see it'll pop it up, and it's downloaded. And now I have it. So now I can bring it into Wilcom. I can bring it into Floriani. I can bring it into Pulse. It's got the native file. It has the non-native machine files, picture, everything you want.
Yep.
And we'll be adding to this continually. So
yeah. And luckily we've had Ramona has donated a couple of her free designs that she has on her website as well. I've got a couple up there from a very long time ago, back in the Wayback Machine.
Yeah.
But
yeah, this is one thing that we've wanted for a long time, is to have something, a nice way to see all of the free files that we have out there. So highly recommend, check it out, download them. They're free. So they're free. And I think that's, and there's a join us on Facebook button, which if you can help us get to 10,000 people on our group, that would be super awesome. And then also, I don't know what we're at for subscribers on YouTube, but shameless plug, there can always be one more. And there's a bunch of like under the hood updates to this, as far as, just functionality, and hopefully a couple bugs with like logins and stuff are fixed. There's a lot of revamping, a lot of, hey Jeff, wait a day and try this, and he's like, yep, it works, but this broke. No, stop breaking it.
That's why we have the dev environment.
Yes, we learned one thing: you don't always push it to the public one.
This is always a work in progress. We're going to be adding more things, and if there's stuff that you'd like to see as well, just let us know.
And there are, like, you guys, honestly, if there's something that you'd like to see added to this, that's where a lot of this stuff came from, is that, hey, can you add XYZ? and it's been built upon. And some of these suggestions I know came from like Mike from the Discord. That's where a lot of these suggestions are fielded. So if you guys want something added to it, you can jump over to the Discord. You can send us a message, and it's something that we're definitely looking into, like the importing your thread into it. That's something that we've had a lot of requests for, but like Matt said, we're just kind of waiting on getting all of the data so that we're able to actually implement that. So if you guys have something you go, you know, it'd be really nice if it had this or it worked this way. I do that to Matt all the time. And it's something that's constantly growing and evolving.
He does a lot. And then he gets his way. It's crazy.
Oh, see, look, Cindy says that we have 2.97 thousand subscribers.
We're only 300 more people.
There you go.
If all 300 people of you watching go and do that, we'd be done. Although we need a couple more because I know Cindy's subscribed, so at least 299. But I'm, you know.
All right. So
whatever.
if Matt pulls up
we have one more thing.
Oh, okay. I'll wait.
I'm gonna bring it up. Okay, not this page. I'm gonna go to the dashboard so none of you get confused by this. But there's one more button under resources, embroidery classes. I wonder what this is. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, this is off of my hands, so we're gonna have Jeff pop up here. He's got the stick now.
I got relocated to the top of.
I
So
will drive.
what you guys are seeing here is this is the Embroidery Nerd University. It's something that we want to do for a long time, and it's been a process. We've been looking for a learning management system, and there's a lot of hit or miss because they're all not created equally, and some of them are easier to navigate than others. And we found this one that we really, really like. It navigates well, it's fast, and we were able to upload some classes on here. So if you guys have purchased one of the webinars that we have, you should be getting an email here pretty soon with a username and a password that you used on our old WordPress site to access this information. Now you'll be able to log in here and you'll be able to access it here. We have all of Justin's webinars that he's done with us, as well as the ones that Lee Caroselli has done with us. One of the really awesome parts about this that I've been really excited for and we've been working on is the DJ Anderson below us. He was able to, he put together something called the Digitizing Masterclass, it's a really awesome class. You can sit down and you can go through and you can learn to digitize from start to finish. It covers everything that you need to know. And it has a lot of practical exercises in there that'll show you the reasons why things are done a certain way or why you would do this versus do something else. So it's a really fantastic program, and it's something that we've been building on top of. So at the beginning of every section, there's a video that says, you know, in order to complete this, you need to know how to do this in your software. And it's something that we started adding videos in different softwares. So DJ primarily teaches in Floriani Total Control, and Justin's been working on adding in Wilcom videos, which I believe we've got them all up. I've been making Pulse videos, and Matt's been making Hatch videos, and those ones aren't uploaded yet because once we start, we have to have all of the videos and upload them all at once, because then they'll all be available for you. But this is available now, and it's something that you're able to purchase if you would like to go from a start to finish digitizing course. And it is something that we will be continually updating the different softwares. So like you can see here, this is the lesson on lock stitches, and we've got it right now in the Floriani software, as well as the Justin's did it in E4.5. So one of the things that really stands out to me about this whole thing is the amount of experience that's gone into it, and the knowledge that's in there. Because if you guys sit down and you actually go through it, there's a lot of knowledge in there. But I'll actually let if you want to say a couple of things about it, because this is primarily something that DJ made, and it's something that we're building off of. So.
Well, yeah. So, you know, this is something that like just my background is in education. So I used to teach Photoshop, Illustrator, stuff like that to high school students back in the day. And software has always been a big thing of what I've done. I've been teaching it for like 20 years. But the background of working with Walter Floriani, who really, when you want to learn digitizing theory, he really broke it down simply. And so basically created this course that's going to take you through step by step from the beginning all the way to, like kind of the most advanced things you can do with digitizing. And the whole point of it is to give you a foundation to know exactly how to control stitches, like why you use a certain amount of push or pull compensation, how much that is, how to figure out densities and stitch lengths and how they play together with each other. Because that's like in the fill stitch section, it's pretty amazing. Like the chart, when you stitch it out, you learn just how much things like stitch length actually affects the fill of a when I say the fill of the fill, it's just the pliability of it, like how much softer it can be just by changing something like stitch length, how you can change and modify densities according to the stitch length. So it's all about the theory, and there's a bunch of lessons in there where you actually create the stuff or you're stitching it out. And that's one of the big parts of this whole course, is not just us telling you what it is, but you get the file and you get to stitch it out so that you can see it for yourself, what's actually happening. And that's how you learn how to digitize. But one of the things that I've learned over the years is, like, you can go online, you can go to YouTube, you can try to learn how to do something like digitizing, but a course makes all the difference. If you really want to get in and start understanding how things work, why they work, you really need to go sequential. And I've been doing this for a number of years. I have so many emails and just testimonials from people that have gone from knowing nothing to digitizing the most complex designs out there. I had one lady not too long ago bought a machine, bought the software, bought the course, and within a month she was sending me all these designs that she had already been digitizing, and they were incredible. But that's what a course can do for you, is it can really help you get to wherever you want to go. I like to say it's, without a course, it's a lot of trial and error. Right. And if you're one of those people that you're having to stitch out a design a few times before you get it right, that means that there's some concept you're not grasping yet. And that's what the digitizing masterclass can do, is help you identify those areas that you actually need a little bit of assistance with. And once you know the theory of digitizing, you can do whatever you want. Like Justin's a prime example. Justin got to learn back in the day when, before you had all this software doing it, like the cartooning and all of that, where those people that come from that background know and understand digitizing at a whole different level. And it's because they had to learn theory. And theory is what has been lost over the last few years, because people just say, oh, the software can do it, I'm just going to use the tools, I'm going to use the settings that it suggests. And that's why we have a lot of really stiff designs that don't stitch out well. That's why the quality has gone down considerably over the last 10, 15 years. Everyone's probably experienced that when you go and send a design out to get done by somebody. It can be very hit or miss. And that's why you find somebody like Justin or Jeff and you utilize them, because you want to make sure you get it right. Well, that's what the masterclass, like the course, is going to help you do, is to learn the foundations and learn all of the rules of embroidery so that you can do that yourself. And I tell everyone too, just one last thing is, even if you don't digitize your own designs, you will be a much better embroiderer. You're going to learn And if you want to edit something, you're going to learn how to edit pieces and know what you're doing as well. So there's a lot of value for just anyone who does embroidery. The more you know about what you're doing, the more successful you're going to be and the less issues you're going to have.
Yeah, the information of just even like DJ is saying, if you start learning how and when to edit designs to increase your efficiency and your quality, or even communicating back to your digitizer saying, you know, it's doing this, you know, can you check this, instead of just saying my design doesn't work. So the more you know the techniques and the step by step, and this is a self-paced course. Once you do sign up for it, you know, you can take it whenever you like. It's always there, access for you. And like Jeff said, the course is built as theory, so you don't have to necessarily have to have any particular software to learn the information in this course. But we are adding, there are the need to know videos that are on there, showing you specific things that you need to do within your software. We do have the Floriani and the Wilcom covered, and we will be adding more of the most popular softwares as far as those particular things. But it's self-paced, a lot of information in there that just as especially a newbie out there starting their embroidery business, a lot of pertinent information that you need to learn that you're going to gain from this course.
Yeah, and you know, one of the things that one of the sections, there's a number of them that I really like, but one of them is teaching you how to dissect a design. Like if you have ever stitched out a design that you really like, that stitched really, really well, I teach you how to go in and analyze that design to learn what did they do, how did they do it, so that you can start replicating that in your own work. Because you might have liked the density that was used, or the stitch length, or the pattern that was used, and it really can help you get to that point. And like I know Ramona, she made a comment about a recipe book. That's another thing that I do, is really try to focus on helping you create a recipe for your embroideries. So there's certain, like if you're trying to do a sketch style, you might find a density that works really well. You might not do that all the time, but it's kind of like a cookbook, recipe book, where you start documenting all those things that you find and you see that you really like the settings of, that you might not do all the time, so that you can come back and access them. Mm-hmm. And so just a lot of things like that. Talks about stabilizers, you know, needles, threads, everything. So there's a lot of information kind of designed to help take you to wherever you want to go, really. So, yeah.
Yeah, but if I would add, this is a patch that I had Justin actually do for me. You can maybe see on the side of the cheek there. Like, it's just a tatami fill for the whole face, but there's a little extra texture to it. So I got the design from him, and like this course would enable me to actually figure out, well, why does that work, and why, and how do I actually do it without just, you know, copying it from the file that he had, pasting it onto my new file, and just manipulating the points. It'll tell you how to actually make that fill and stitch and everything in your software, because we already have Floriani from DJ, and then Justin did Wilcom. I will say I am recording Hatch videos. It just takes a lot of time. As you can tell, they're longer videos, and there's a lot of them. And there's also EmbroideryNerd.io, and then there's Life. So I won't make any promises about what Jeff is doing. He can throw himself under the bus if he wants, but
I'm about 75% through.
Okay, I'm through the intro. To be fair,
there you go.
So, but the intro is not just, it's good. I would share it with you guys, but I don't have the link. And one more thing I'd like to say. So I'm going to bring up the screen here. I know we just spent a good several minutes talking about just the digitizing theory class here. I'd also like to point out the insane benefit that you get from the lettering essentials one that Justin did. because it's taught like it's lettering, so it's satin columns, whatever. Like, but understanding how to do it on lettering also helps you for just regular satin columns. So if you're doing a small, again, I can bring this patch back up if I make sure I don't click like end the stream. The glasses, those are satin columns. Same thing as the lettering. It's actually the same width as the lettering. So believe it or not, but you can just use the same type of underlay and, you know, all the different settings, and it works. So
And that's
I
what
got more benefit out of the text talk just for regular digitizing philosophy. So, and the same stuff is in the digitizing theory, maybe. I don't know.
If you
Try
you know, do partake and collect them all, as they say, and watch all the classes and webinars that we have up, you're going to see the reoccurring theories and the reoccurring things that could be, you know, certain things could be applied to certain situations, certain, you know, elements in embroidery, because, you know, there's only so many things you can do with embroidery. It's about how you manipulate them, how you use them, how you set densities and column widths and compensations and stuff like that. And that's why this is based on theory. This course. This isn't, you know, just a one software company telling you how to use their software. This is telling you, hey, whatever software you have, you're going to apply these techniques and these theories to it to learn how to digitize it. And on top of it, because all of us combined have used and are proficient in so many different softwares, we're going to say, hey, there's certain things you need to know in your software. Well, if you use Wacom, check out this video. If you use Floriani, check out this video. And that's where, like Matt was saying, we're going to be adding Hatch, and we're going to be adding Pulse, and possibly even more to the course as well. So,
and that answers Jesse's question about the software. So it is Wacom 4.5 digital edition supported. So
right. So yeah, it's not software specific, but the university is the newest addition to our education line. The rest of the webinars, those are ones that we pre-recorded over the last 3-4 years. That if you already have purchased them, like Matt said, you're going to be getting an email just saying that they've migrated over here, set up a new email password to access them. But if you haven't, they're all in one central location in our university website. And so, and any future education we're going to be adding here as well.
Another really cool thing too is that there is dark mode on the website, but it appears to have disappeared.
There's well over 18 hours of like training in there, of just going over all the different things of digitizing. So it's a lot of content. That's one thing that is very important to all of us, is when you buy something, we want to make sure that we cover our basics, you know, like, and give you everything that we know about the certain topic. And that's what the course is designed for as well.
Right.
Is so the unique thing is it's going to talk about a run stitch, and you're going to learn everything you need to know about a run stitch, the ways of controlling it, the issues that you might have, like satin stitches, you know, how small you can make them, how large you can make them, because that's a big issue that most people get into, trying to make satin stitches too small. That's when you start getting a lot of issues. So you're going to learn the rules, the hows, the whys, and yeah, it's pretty amazing. There's a lot of content in there.
There's another thing too with this website. One of the things you can do as you're enrolled in the course and you take it, there's the ability to ask questions right in the course, and have either us or other users reply or respond or whatever it's called.
Yeah, that's what I was actually going to say. Not only is it, you know, kind of approaching this where it's an overall theory and not just kind of the handbook that's given to you by a certain software that's usually software forward. It's backed by the four of us. So any questions that you have, we know this information. We're teaching this information. So if there's a question that comes up, you have one of us four, and combined, probably it's like 200 years worth of knowledge here.
All right, Justin's got like 50 all on his.
I've got a quarter of that right there. So, but yeah, it's between all of us. If you're running into issues as far as something you're just not getting in the course, or even technical issues, that's going to be Matthew. Technical issues on the site, but yeah, and if you have questions, or you're stuck on one subject matter or theory, one of us is there to answer you, if not fellow users of the course. So
Yep.
And the advantage of getting it as a course too is you save a lot of money, because if they were broken down into individual webinars, or you're paying somebody to try to learn how to digitize, you'd spend thousands of dollars to get that amount of information. So
yeah,
absolutely.
But that's something we've been working on. We're really excited for it. We're really excited for the changes on Embroidery Nerd University, or not, EmbroideryNerd.io, because that is something that we've been working on in the background, and it's really exciting to see where it's at now and be able to release it to everybody and have you guys be able to use it, because there's some really awesome resources on EmbroideryNerd.io. And then if you want to go and you just want to sit down and you want to learn something from start to finish, that's what the Embroidery Nerd University is. It's a lot better than, typing into YouTube, how do I, and then you get a tiny chunk, and then you get a tiny chunk, and then you have to try to piece it all together. It's all there, put in a really nice layout that allows you to learn it from beginning to end, which is something that's you don't see that too often anymore. Usually it's a lot more pieced out. So to have something that's completely put together is really, really awesome.
Another thing with the, like DJ mentioned, that it talks about stabilizers and stuff. There's a lot of stabilizers out there, and if you're like I know Jeff and I, you have to buy one of every one, because it's just, sorry, we're embroideryaholics, but
we need one of everything.
Yeah, but that's so much money. And in fact, I have two brand new unopened rolls of a stabilizer that's discontinued because the manufacturer's not even around anymore. So if I do like it, well, how do I get a replacement for it? Well, that's where the stabilizer portion of that course helps out. And then you also don't actually have to go out and buy one of every single one to figure out what you need. You can look at the course and be like, oh, I'm doing the active shirts or whatever. I don't know, I just slipped my mind, like a polo or something, and it'll tell you, like, what is it, Madeira or Action Back, or I forgot what Floriani calls it, but something like that. I don't know. I don't.
Yeah.
So if I'm wrong, put it up with HR.
Yeah. There's the stabilizer part, but then there's also training on the fabrics, and the unique thing about that is you determine the stabilizer by the fabric, but you also determine what stitch properties you use based on the fabric too, because you don't use the same underlays, densities, and all that kind of stuff. It varies, and so you get to learn about fabrics and what settings should be used for those different types of fabrics. So it's very very comprehensive.
Yeah. So then we have tools that we've developed that helps with that too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this whole environment that, the whole idea behind this, the university that we're doing, even though trade shows and the live teaching is a great thing. I mean, I love doing it. And the more and more we are gaining relationships in the industry, I think you're going to see a little bit more of us at these shows. But it's in one central place. Once you buy the course, whatever course it may be, it's there. You can always refer back to it. You can take your time learning it. And even if we are to put out a live webinar, like the webinars that I have up there that I've done in the past, yes, it'll be live at the time, but it also will be housed here at any time. You can go back and rewatch and review and whatnot. So it's not just a one-time thing. Live, you miss it, you miss half of it type thing. It's always going to be there for you to refer back to it. So if we do any live webinars, we'll always have it listed on here as well. But speaking of live stuff, I know we have a couple things coming up here. As far as me, Wilcom has not released the exact time yet, but July 11th, I will be doing a live webinar with Wilcom. Subject matter is going to be 3D Puff, of course, my favorite. But I teamed up with Wilcom International for that. So I'm excited about that. So save the date, July 11th. Again, they haven't posted a link for the exact time yet. I believe it's supposed to be 11 a.m. Eastern, maybe Central.
It'll be in a time zone from a country at a time. That will be convenient.
It'll be during the day here in the U.S. I know that because Brendan is based out of Australia, so I know the time zones are pretty different between us and them. So that is something I'm excited about. So check that out. And coming up in September, what do you guys got?
So coming up in September, me and Matt will actually be teaching patches out at SPSI up in Minnesota. They're putting on an event, and we're going to be up there. We're going to be teaching patches, as well as we're going to do kind of a workshop where we're actually going to sit down and we're going to make patches in the different methods, so you guys can kind of see which method works best for you. Because there's a lot of different ways to make patches, but there's the way that's going to work best in your workflow in your shop. And that's not something you usually see, and have somebody that can help guide you through the different methods to pick which one is going to work best for you. So me and Matt will be actually doing that up at SPSI here in September at their event that they're planning. So me and Matt are really excited for that. And so Ramona asks, what is SPSI? That is a ZSK embroidery machine dealer up in Minnesota. So they cover a few states.
Yeah, they do screen printing and direct to garment and film and all the different types of decorating material as well, or mediums, whatever.
I know the SP stands for screen print, and the SI I'm not 100% sure on without referencing something. But they're a really nice bunch of guys up there that have asked us to go up there, and so we're really excited for that too.
Screen printing, super incredible.
There you go. I like that.
I made that up.
But somebody asked if we were going to be at the Applique Getaway, and unfortunately we were not able to swing that due to other obligations that we had this year. So it was kind of a bummer when they talked about that this might be their last year. But if they do have it again next year, we'll probably be there. So here's hoping that somebody picks it up. But if not, like I said, we'll be going to other shows and doing some other events too. So
maybe we'll have to do a live workshop.
I think that would be a lot of fun to do a live workshop. Maybe next
different
summer.
Classes.
Yep. I think we might be able to swing that in Omaha. But anyways, guys, I'll go ahead and close us out here because I think we've covered everything that we wanted to cover. If you guys want to visit the EmbroideryNerd.io, if one of you guys could drop the link for EmbroideryNerd.io and Embroidery Nerd University there in the comments, you guys will be able to see that there. You can check it out. And if you do have questions, you can join our Facebook group, or you can jump over onto Discord and you can join the conversation with us there. We're more than happy to try and answer your questions and help you guys throughout the process of, learning embroidery as a craft and digitizing as a skill. So with that, I'll go ahead and open it up if there's anybody else that has anything they want to add.
I just have to make a blooper reel. Do you guys know how hard it is to spell embroidery right the first try?
It may or may not have been spelled wrong on my business card for a really, really long time.
It is definitely not spelled embroidery. I guarantee you, if you spell it out 10 times real quick, you'll spell it wrong.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10.
All
That's
right.
all
Well,
I had to
awesome.
say.
So with that, guys, I'm Jeff Fuller from Fuller Embroiderers. We have Justin Armento from JA Digitizing Studios. We have Matthew Enderle from Patchphrase and DJ Anderson from Digitizing Masterclass. And we are all here representing EmbroideryNerd today. I'd like to thank you guys for hanging out with us, and we'll catch you again next time.